The traits you spend the most energy hiding are often the source of your greatest strength. What you deny doesn't disappear, it quietly runs your life. In this video, you'll learn the law that turns envy, anger, and narcissism into real leverage. Not by suppressing them, but by using them without becoming toxic. Quick challenge: name one unacceptable trait you know you have. Don't explain it. Just admit it to yourself. The shadow is universal. What if the parts of you that embarrass you are the most human parts you own? Every person carries a shadow: envy, aggression, selfishness, and pretending you don't have one doesn't remove it, it hands it the steering wheel. In real life, this shows up as overreactions, blind spots, and repeating the same mistakes while insisting you're not that kind of person. Denial doesn't make you good, it makes you predictable. The shadow always collects interest. Write down one trait you dislike in others and ask where it lives in you, honestly. Awareness weakens compulsion. Power move. Moral superiority is the real trap. The most dangerous people aren't the obviously flawed, they're the ones convinced they're exempt from human nature. When you believe you're morally superior, you stop self-monitoring, and your dark impulses leak out sideways as judgment, passive aggression, or hypocrisy. In everyday life, this ruins relationships and erodes trust faster than open flaws ever could. People forgive imperfection, they resist arrogance. Superiority kills self-control. Replace "I'd never do that" with "under pressure I might." That single reframe restores humility and choice. 2 facts, 1 result: control. Narcissism has a purpose. Imagine a child realizing, for the first time, that attention isn't guaranteed. That moment hurts, and narcissism is born as a survival response, not a moral failure. Healthy self-love becomes an inner anchor, allowing you to stand without constant approval. In adulthood, the problem isn't having narcissism, it's letting it inflate unchecked or denying it exists at all. One path breeds stability, the other chaos. Self-love came first. Build quiet self-esteem daily, skills, craft, discipline, so validation becomes optional, not necessary. Stability. Healthy versus toxic expression. Don't ask whether a trait is good or bad, ask where it's pointed. The same narcissistic energy that demands applause can also fuel excellence, leadership, and pride in work. Suppressed traits rot, indulged traits explode. Directed traits perform. In real life, this explains why 2 equally ambitious people diverge: one builds, the other burns bridges. Direction changes destiny. Identify one strong impulse and consciously give it a productive outlet. Status through mastery, not drama. Leverage. Awareness creates choice. The moment you notice an impulse rising, envy, irritation, self-importance, you've already weakened it. Awareness inserts a pause, and that pause is freedom. Without it, reactions feel inevitable. With it, behavior becomes optional. This is why self-observation is uncomfortable. It dissolves excuses. Noticing is power. Name the impulse silently when it appears. 2 facts follow: emotion slows, control returns, choice. Anger as fuel. Anger feels dangerous because it carries force, and force without aim destroys. But anger is also compressed energy, waiting for direction. History is full of people who turned resentment into reform, discipline, or creation instead of conflict. Suppressing anger weakens you. Venting it ruins you. Channeling it sharpens you. Anger wants movement. Attach anger to a mission, fitness, work, justice, so it pushes forward instead of lashing out. Momentum. Envy as a compass. Envy isn't telling you who you hate, it's showing you who you want to be. You don't envy random people, you envy those expressing unrealized parts of yourself. Ignore envy and it festers. Decode it, and it guides ambition. Envy reveals direction. Ask, what skill or freedom do they have? Extract that element and pursue it deliberately. Emotion becomes information, clarity. Aggression without damage. What if aggression wasn't violence, but firmness without apology? Refined aggression is the ability to say no, to protect boundaries, and to stand ground calmly. Without it, you leak resentment. With too much, you create fear. The sweet spot earns respect. Boundaries need teeth. Practice calm assertiveness, short statements, steady tone, no justification. 2 truths, 1 outcome, respect. Creativity needs darkness. Some of your best ideas arrive when you're restless, irritated, or quietly dissatisfied. That's not a flaw, it's fuel. Creativity feeds on tension, contradiction, and unresolved emotion. Without darkness, work becomes polite and forgettable. Many people numb these states and then wonder why their output feels empty. Artists, builders, and innovators don't eliminate discomfort, they harvest it. Tension creates signal. Schedule dark work sessions where you turn frustration into output. Write, build, design, no polishing allowed. Raw power. If this reframing is shifting how you see yourself, subscribe now. Each week, we break down psychology you can use, not just understand, so you stay ahead instead of guessing. Self-esteem that doesn't beg. Real confidence doesn't announce itself, it stabilizes you under pressure. When self-esteem comes from inside, criticism informs instead of wounds, and praise doesn't intoxicate. Without that inner anchor, the ego panics, leading to rage, defensiveness, or constant performance. The loudest people are often the most fragile. Inner approval calms storms. Build esteem through promises kept to yourself. Daily reps beat external applause. 2 facts, 1 result, composure. Turning inward then outward. Mature self-love doesn't end with you, it expands beyond you. When you stop fighting your own flaws, you gain patience for others' imperfections. That's how empathy grows, not from moral purity, but from recognition. People who accept themselves deeply tend to judge less and influence more. Acceptance widens vision. When triggered by someone, locate the mirror trait in yourself first. Self-awareness converts friction into understanding, influence. Control beats eradication. Why try to erase instincts that evolution wired into you? You can't delete aggression, envy, or ambition, but you can design rules for them. Attempted eradication creates relapse. Intelligent control creates consistency. Discipline isn't denial, it's architecture. Design beats denial. Identify one trigger and pre-plan a response. If X happens, I do Y. 2 truths, 1 outcome, reliability. The law of integration. Power comes from integration, not virtue signaling. When light and shadow work together, you gain stamina, clarity, and emotional range. This is the law: what you integrate, you command; what you deny, commands you. Calm strength always beats forced goodness in the long run. Integration creates authority. Pair each dark trait with a constructive role, ambition with service, anger with protection, and practice daily. Command. The 3 mistakes that ruin integration. Most people fail at using their dark side for one of 3 reasons: they suppress it, they indulge it, or they disguise it as virtue. Suppression leaks out as resentment, indulgence turns into chaos, and performative goodness breeds hypocrisy. None of these create control. Integration sits in the narrow middle, and that's why it's rare. Extremes destroy balance. Notice which mistake you default to under stress and consciously shift toward disciplined expression. Correction. Social mastery through self-mastery. Picture 2 people in the same tense room. One reacts emotionally, the other stays composed and observant. The second person isn't colder, they're integrated. Knowing your own triggers sharpens your ability to read others, because you recognize the signs in yourself first. Self-mastery quietly becomes social advantage. Calm sees more. When emotions rise, pause and observe before speaking. 2 facts emerge: leverage increases, control. Why leaders need their dark side. Can you lead without ambition, pride, or the hunger to win? Effective leaders don't pretend these drives don't exist. They restrain and aim them. Unintegrated leaders become tyrants or people pleasers. Integrated leaders set standards without cruelty. The difference isn't morality, it's mastery. Leadership requires edge. Channel ambition into excellence and accountability, not dominance. Direction, not denial, authority. The daily integration practice. Integration isn't a breakthrough, it's a routine. Small, daily acts of noticing and redirecting compound into emotional strength. 1 trigger, 1 pause, 1 intentional response. Over time, reactions fade and choice expands. Reps build control. Each day, track 1 emotional trigger and how you redirected it. 2 truths follow: awareness grows, discipline. The advantage you were avoiding. Your dark side was never your enemy. it was untrained power. Once integrated, it becomes resilience, creativity, and quiet confidence. Most people stay divided their entire lives. You don't have to. Power comes home. Stop running from your shadow. Integrate it, aim it, and use it. Calm strength beats purity every time. Advantage. You don't win by becoming good. You win by becoming whole. When you understand your envy, anger, ambition, and pride, they stop sabotaging you and start serving you. This is the law: integrate or be controlled. If you want to go deeper, the next video breaks down how to recognize the shadow in others and stay one step ahead socially.